Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing Network, bringing you today's feature event. It's 20 fast laps on the 1.5-mile tri-oval at Charlotte. This is the Fanatec Street Stock Series. Let's have a look at the starting lineup. Starting in position 17, that's car number 8, the Mount Vernon Auto Supply Napa Chevrolet of Aaron Johnson. Aaron out of Bailey, Colorado. He'll show up on your telemetry as car number 8. But on the screen, he'll be racing car 00. Starting in the 16th spot in car number 15, that's Jacob Jarman racing out of the Great Plains region. Starting in the 15th spot, that'll be John Romero out of the Northwest region in car number 3. Starting 14th, racing out of Denver, Colorado in the STP Richard Petty Tribute car, that is Jacob Martin. Starting 13th, racing out of Canada in the Pottles Wraps car number 2, that is Andrew Forrester. Starting 12th in the Haviland Chevrolet, racing out of Canada, that is Trevor Brewer in car number 7. In the 11th spot, racing out of Texas in car number 4, that's Rich Johnson. It's LaDonna Road starting 10th in car number 1, LaDonna racing out of the Carolinas. Starting 9th in car number 12, that's a Miller Genuine Draft Chevrolet of Timothy Miller, Timothy out of Pennsylvania. Now your top 8 starters. Starting in position number 8, that is car number 9, the Skoll Chevrolet of Mike Lano, Mike out of Montesano, Washington. Starting 7th in car number 17, racing out of the Northwest region, that is Douglas Christensen. Starting 6th in car number 11, he races out of the Northwest region as well. That is Joshua DeWitt. Starting 5th in car number 16, he's going to show up on your screen as car 7. That's the RMS Chevrolet of John Stapleton, John out of East Lansing, Michigan. Starting 4th in car number 5, it's Ryan Shoup. That's the Miller Lite Chevrolet out of the Mid-South. Racing out of the Midwest in car number 10, he's going to start 3rd on the grid. That is Nicholas Ford in the Diet Coke machine. Now your front row, on the front row outside. Sorry, that's the Miller Lite car. The 5 is the Ally car. And number 6, the Miller Lite car of Charles Zuber. Zuber racing out of Texas. And on the pole in car number 13, that is Daniel Puccio out of Pinamar, Argentina. Pace car leading the field around the racetrack. The lights are off. Puccio on the pole. The pace car is in. Puccio hammers the throttle, and Daniel Puccio is going to lead him to the line as we're underway at Charlotte, ready for 20 fast laps. Puccio disappears for just a moment. We're going to hone in on the 6th car to try to limit some of that flickering. It's Puccio 1, Zuber 2, Nicholas Ford running in the 3rd spot. Just underneath them, the 7 of Stapleton has come in. Stapleton's going to make his way into the 4th spot. He got underneath Ryan Shoup. Shoup will drop back to the 5th position. Behind Shoup, it's going to be DeWitt. A lot of action up front early as Puccio takes to the high line. That's going to open the door. And crash! The 6 and the 10 get together. Zuber goes around. He comes up, collects the 5, the 17, and the 9. Lots of cars involved here. A carnage in the back as well. The 17 out, the 9 out, the 6 out. That's the 3 of John Romero as well. Lots of carnage in this race early. Aaron Johnson survives. He manages to get on the binders, but Johnson's going to be miles behind as Daniel Puccio is going to be out in front and a long ways gone. We are 2 laps in. Daniel Puccio with an enormous lead. Pucci out front, followed by the 11 of DeWitt, then Nicholas Ford in 3rd. Rich Johnson looks like he's going to be in 4th. LaDonna Road 5th. Forrester 6th. Mike Lano 7th. Aaron Johnson in 8th, with Trevor Brewer 9th, and Timothy Miller rounding out the top 10. A big crash early, creating all kinds of problems for the leaders. Daniel Puccio, the beneficiary, he is a mile out in front of the next pair of cars, Joshua DeWitt and Rich Johnson. LaDonna Road now in 4th. Andrew Forster's moved up to 5th. Aaron Johnson in 6th as more victims of that crash make their way into the pits. Looks like a total of 8 cars involved. Ford, Lano, Miller, Romero, Christensen, Shoup, Zuber, and Martin all involved in that accident, as well as Stapleton, who has remained on the racetrack, and I believe Jacob Jarman. So really only 7 cars that were not involved. Everyone else in all kinds of trouble. Daniel Puccio well out front. Probably a 10-second lead at this point. The only question is if Rich Johnson and Joshua DeWitt can get nose to tail and use the draft to chase Daniel Puccio down and make a race out of this thing. Let's have a look now at the field after Puccio comes by. He's disappeared yet again. But let's take a look and see what this field is going to look like. Out front, it is the 13 of Daniel Puccio. Puccio leading the field. Behind Puccio, we see the 5 of Shoup re-entering the racetrack. Behind Puccio, it's the 4 of Rich Johnson. Johnson about half a straightaway behind. He's in no danger of using the draft at this point. On the speedway behind Johnson, that's the 11 of Joshua DeWitt. DeWitt being shown in the 3rd spot. Then behind DeWitt, that's the 10. That's the 10 of Nicholas Barlow. Barlow currently being shown. That's not Barlow. That's the 10 of Ford. Ford being shown in the 10th spot, 1 lap down. And behind them, that is LaDonna Road in the 1. She's being shown in the 4th spot. Behind Road, that's the 5. And car number 5, that's Ryan Shoup. Shoup currently 13, 3 laps down. Behind Shoup on the inside, that's car number 2, Andrew Forster. He currently sits in the 5th spot. Behind Forster, that's the 00 of Johnson, currently being shown in 6th. Behind those 2 cars, that's the 9 of Mike Lano. Lano in 12th, 3 laps down. Then behind Lano, that's the 7 of Trevor Brewer. He's shown in 7th. And the 3 of John Romero. Romero currently in 14th, 3 laps down. Behind Romero, we see the 15 of Jacob Jarman. Jarman currently the last car on the lead lap in 8th. Crash is taken out. Looks like the 7 of Trevor Brewer. So Brewer now gone. We'll go back to Jacob Jarman. Jarman currently being shown in 8th. Then behind Jarman on the racetrack, that looks like the 17 car. That is Douglas Christensen. Christensen currently shown in 11th, 2 laps down. Then behind Christensen, we're back to the 3 of Romero. Romero 14th, 3 laps down. Then behind Romero, we're back to the leader, Daniel Puccio. Puccio, lap number 8 of 20, leading the field. Puccio with a huge lead, about 5 seconds over the 4 of Johnson and then the 1 of LaDonna Road. Johnson all by himself. He doesn't have any drafting help. Without drafting help, it will be impossible for Rich Johnson to catch up with Daniel Puccio. Behind Johnson, it's the 1 of LaDonna Road. Now, she does have some drafting help. She's got the 10 of Nicholas Ford. Ford currently 1 lap down in 8th. But if those 2 can get nose to tail with Johnson, they'll have a chance to run down Daniel Puccio. It's a little late in the game here. They need to get their act together if they're going to draft their way to the front. At this point in time, they've got 6 seconds to make up. You can make up about half a second a lap, maybe a little more, if you're drafting well at Charlotte in these street stocks. So LaDonna Road and the 10 of Nicholas Ford need to get nose to tail out front. It is all Daniel Puccio. Puccio currently being trailed by the 3, it looks like, the 3 of John Romero. Romero now 4 laps down. Puccio looks like he's maybe put Romero another lap down. He's in no danger of having a drafting partner either. Puccio with a lot of internet lag here, but at the halfway point he leads. It's Daniel Puccio 1, Rich Johnson 2, LaDonna Road running in 3rd with Joshua DeWitt 4th, Aaron Johnson 5th, Andrew Forster 6th, and Jacob Jarman in 7th, the last car on the lead lap. Behind them in the 8th spot, 1 lap down, is Nicholas Ford. Trevor Brewer is in 9th, and Douglas Christensen rounds out the top 10, Christensen being shown 2 laps down. Trevor Brewer is in the pits. It won't be long until he loses a spot to Ryan Shoup. So we expect Ryan Shoup will work his way into the top 10 unless Trevor Brewer is able to get in and out of the pits in a hurry. Out front, it is all Daniel Puccio. Puccio with a huge lead, holding on to try to take the win here at Charlotte. Let's go back through the field one more time. Behind Puccio, the next car on the lead on the track is the 4 of Rich Johnson. Behind Johnson, that's the 10 of Nicholas Ford and the 1 of LaDonna Road. These cars now nose to tail. Johnson's just going to let the lapped car of Ford go, but that's going to pull LaDonna Road past. These cars maybe with a chance to catch Puccio, although with 8 laps to go, I just don't see it happening. Behind the 4, the next car on the speedway is the 7. That is Trevor Brewer. Brewer being shown in the 11th spot, 4 laps down. He just hit his limit on X's when he got under the line there. So Trevor Brewer looks like he's in a bit of trouble. Behind the 7 is behind them, 7, Trevor Brewer is back. He's still 4 laps down on the outside. That's the Ally car. Car number 5 of Ryan Shoup. Shoup in 10th spot, 2 laps down. Then behind Shoup on the speedway, that's the 00 of Johnson. Johnson currently running 4th. Behind Johnson on the speedway, that's the 11 of Josh DeWitt in 5th. Then behind DeWitt, that's car number 2. Car number 2 of Andrew Forrester. Forrester currently being shown in the 6th spot. He is on the lead lap. Then behind Forrester, the next car on the speedway is the 13 of Daniel Puccio. So a large amount of attrition in this race as only 10 cars remain on the speedway. Daniel Puccio continues to lead. He is well out in front. Puccio with a lot of internet lag. Not unexpected racing out of South America. You know, light travels at 186,000 miles per second. The shortest distance between, or the longest distance between any 2 points on the globe is about 12,000 miles, which means it's going to take light about an eighth of a second to a twelfth of a second to go to and from, right? To go to and from to communicate back and forth from the server. That means that in distant areas, if the race is being hosted in New York and you're racing out of Argentina, you're going to have some built-in lag, and any issue with your internet quality then is going to make that problem worse. Daniel Puccio could have outstanding internet in Argentina, but a couple of little blips combined with that 15,000 mile round trip, and all of a sudden Puccio is going to flicker on and off the screen. Puccio leads. LaDonna Road is 2nd. Rich Johnson 3rd. Aaron Johnson 4th. Josh DeWitt 5th. Forrester 6th. Jake Jarman 7th. Those are the cars on the lead lap. In the 8th spot, 1 lap down, that's Nicholas Ford in the Diet Coke machine. Behind Ford in 9th, 2 laps down, is Douglas Christensen. And in 10th, 3 laps down, is Ryan Shoup. Brewer, Lano, Romero, Stapleton, Miller, Zuber, and Martin are out of the race. So 10 cars remain, 4 laps to go. Daniel Puccio with the lead. A little action further back. Let's hone in on these 3 cars. It's the 10, the lapped car of Nicholas Ford, the 1 of LaDonna Road, and Rich Johnson in car number 4. Road and the 10 touch just a little bit. Ford gets all kinds of out of shape, manages to gather it back in. The 4 of Rich Johnson backs off to give these 2 a little bit of room. Road looks to the outside as they come to the start-finish line. And at the line, it's still going to be Road trailing the lapped car. That's the 10 of Nicholas Ford. Daniel Puccio continues to lead. Road looks to the high side. The 4 of Rich Johnson follows this pair as LaDonna Road sits in the 2nd spot trying to hold off Rich Johnson, who is in 3rd. Out front, Daniel Puccio is all by his lonesome. There's no one within a country mile of that 13 car. Let's go back up and ride along with the 13 of Daniel Puccio. He's got 2 laps to go. Puccio, the beneficiary of an early accident, has made 0 mistakes since and run a near flawless race. Puccio continuing to have internet problems. If that persists, Daniel Puccio could be booted from the server. That would give the win to LaDonna Road. Puccio has to be holding his breath right now as internet issues really cropping up, those gremlins continuing to be a problem for the 13 of Daniel Puccio. Puccio out of turn number 4 now onto the front straightaway. He'll come into the tri-oval and cross the start-finish line. He takes the white flag. There is 1 lap to go. It is Puccio in the lead, followed by Rode, Rich Johnson, Aaron Johnson, Forrester, DeWitt, and Jarman. Those the 7 cars on the lead lap. Puccio lets the car drift up high in the center of 1 and 2, taking no chances. One of the easiest ways to crash at Charlotte is to get a couple of wheels below that blue line that has a tendency to loosen the car up, and it's very easy to lose control. Puccio being cautious, he's about a half a lane to a lane above that blue line. Daniel Puccio now on the blue line as he comes out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. He's going to take the checkered flag. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Puccio with the win. In the second spot, as they come to the stripe, it's going to be LaDonna Road with Rich Johnson in third. Behind them, the 00 of Aaron Johnson is going to finish up 4th with Josh DeWitt 5th, Forrester 6th, Jarman 7th, Ford in 8th, Christensen in 9th, and Ryan Shoup rounding out the top 10. Those cars finish the race running. Out of the race in 11th is Trevor Brewer, 12th Mike Lano, 13th John Romero, 14th John Stapleton, 15th Timothy Miller, 16th Charles Zuber, and 17th Jacob Martin. Quite frankly, not too much excitement in that race after an early accident wipes out about half of the field, but Daniel Puccio runs a great race, makes no mistakes, and takes home the victory. From Charlotte Motor Speedway, this is Aaron Johnson for the Johnson iRacing Network saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.